It's okay. Maybe we don't have to be that far out. I think just being present. Oh, you're okay.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Good. Really good, thanks. Thanks for being here. And that stops right there. Multi-talented. He plays the drums. And maybe that's it. So maybe not so multi-talented.
That is my purpose. I have a purpose.
Oh, thanks.
I have a purpose. You know, it's like, okay, overthinking. Yeah. Oh, 1 minute to go.
Where's the Nico?
There was a big dance last night. This is like, I did, yeah. There was a dance. That's why there's a later crowd. I don't know.
The crowd went wild. We're ready. Who's doing platform?
My whole schedule's out of whack today.
Yeah. Who's
Well, I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, I'm just where I'm supposed to be. At the right time, I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, I'm just where I'm supposed to be. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Is that your job?
I volunteer as tribute. Today is a fun day.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I don't even have this other mic on. Well, that's a bit of that's some fun. Well, I don't have it turned on either. Yes, we are grateful to be here as I get thrust into platform leader, drummer, speaker. See, I am.
Thomas,
Yes.
you're gonna play the piano today. I'm
Okay,
out too.
and
I'm so sorry.
That's going to be dangerous. Anyhow, welcome for all those present here and for all those joining online. Welcome wherever you are on your spiritual journey, your spiritual path, whatever phrase you want to give it, you are totally welcome to be here. As that song just said, your soul is welcome here wherever you are. So thank you for being here. And I'd like to acknowledge first and foremost that we are also on the traditional, unceded, and ancestral territory of the Snuneymuxw people, part of the Coast Salish people up and down the west coast of North America. And they have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And for that, I am truly grateful. I'm truly grateful to share this land and to be a part of it. And for that, we say Haichka.
Haichka.
Back you go. You can sing the
So
affirmative
welcome
prayer.
again, everybody. It's great to be here. Yeah, let's take a moment to center as my brain races around here to figure out what am I supposed to do. This will be a perfect time for us to settle in. I welcome you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes. And I invite you to take a nice, deep, conscious breath. Knowing that this is a perfect place for us all to be in, exactly where we are right now as we center ourselves into that deep knowing of spirit, as we call upon ourselves to bring our highest consciousness here. And we affirm and see, and not only in ourselves, but in one another, that beautiful light, that Christ light, that shining beacon of hope that we can see in one another. And for this, we are grateful and we say thank you.
The Madonna song. The Madonna song.
Every little thing that you say and do, just like a boomerang, it will come back to you. All the love you give that you wanted to, just like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. It will come back. And every time you fight against something new, just like a boomerang, it will come back to you. Every thought you give, what you hold as true, just like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. It will come back. Round, round, round like the seasons, like dark into light and day back to nighttime now. Circles completion, like rain to the river, to the ocean, returns to the sky. After you were born, you thought what was true, but like a boomerang, it will come back to you. You may not recall what you came here to do, but like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. It will come back. all that you desire when you ask it to. Just like a boomerang, it will come back to you. May seem like a fortune sailing out of the blue, but like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. It will come back. It will come back to you.
Pretty song. It's a very pretty song.
I didn't hear it, so I started to doubt you. And you couldn't feel it, so you just lost your way. And we'll never find it if we don't get it out there. It's not love to you, give it away. And it's not a treasure you keep buried within you. It's not a bankroll you save up for a rainy day. It's not like a lifeboat you don't use till you're sinking. It's not love to you, give it away, so just give it away. Give it away. It's not love to you, give it away, so just give it away. Give it away. It's not love to you, give it away. Just let it go, then watch it grow. Just give it up, you still will have enough. Just give it away. Give it away. It's not love to you, give it away. And it's not peace till you make peace your mission. It won't heal till they hear what you need to say. It's gonna take faith, cause it's such a contradiction. It's not love to you, give it away, so just give it away. Give it away. It's not love to you, give it away, so just give it away. Give it away. It's not love to you, give it away. No, it's not love to you, give it away. It's not love to you, give it away.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone online. Good to see you all. Wise words. So this is a true story. I recently went to Florida, flew out of Nanaimo. First tip to anybody, never fly out of Nanaimo in the winter.
Yep.
It's full of delays, right? So mine was, it was fog. So my flight was delayed, maybe not 24 hours, but pretty quick, pretty close to that. So made it to Florida, then had a good trip. Coming back, flight delayed again because of lightning. So that's a big thing in Florida, lightning. So now my trip coming back was delayed a full 24 hours. Interesting because it just shifted everything. I still got my full complement of my trip, but it was just shifted. The part I want to share with you is it all worked out. It was complete. We must leave tactfully and with grace, at peace and with serenity. No anger, no resentment, no disappointments, and no regrets. So just everything, we can just go forward with that. Yeah. Thank you.
The song's full of good advice.
This is about meditation. Oh, I'll take this off just
Do you
because
want to do it in there or do you want to do it?
I
Start, that's
think-
the wrong key.
like to do that because it's Clapton's thing. You know?
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Well, I've been driving in my car, stuck in traffic, going nowhere. I rush to work to pay the bills. So stressed out, I'm popping pills. The days are never long enough. Why does it have to feel so tough? Thoughts are racing round and round. Sometimes I feel I'm gonna drown, so I breathe. Yes, I breathe. You can't stop the world from spinning, but you can bring the darkness a light. Know that it's within you. You just close your eyes and breathe. Just breathe. You catch the news, it makes you mad. You think about it till you're sad. They say yesterday mean no. You wanna stay, but you still go. And all those things you like to do just feel like dreams that don't come true. You ruminate about where you've been. It's time to catch yourself again and breathe. Breathe. You can't stop the world from spinning, but you can bring the darkness a light. Know that it's within you. You just close your eyes and breathe. Just breathe. and breathe. Just breathe. Someone's drama pulls you in. You listen close to be a friend. Takes everything you've got to hear. The simple truth, it's based in fear. And in that deep, it's hard to see. So asking you just follow me. I'm asking you to do this slow. Breathe deep and hold and then let it go. Just breathe. Come on, breathe. Just breathe.
Back up there you go now.
Thank you, Brenda, for stepping in. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Nico. Hello, everybody. Yeah, that was a bit surprised this morning. Hey, who's the platform leader? Patricia is in California. Her sister needed assistance, and she rushed off early last week. I spoke to her yesterday, and it's probably a couple weeks that she might be gone. So I guess I'll have to step up a little and do my job, you might say. Just do your job. Just do it. So yeah, this idea of wrestling with God, maybe that talk title threw people off. But I want to talk about Genesis and the story of Jacob and Rebekah and Esau. So Jacob and Esau are twin brothers, and probably are familiar with Jacob's ladder. Maybe you know of Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? This is, those characters come from this story. And also what's interesting about this story is that I think we can bring it to a place of something within us, which is what I love to look at scripture for, or any wisdom teachings, whether I'm reading Buddhist teachings or scripture itself from either the Hebrew scriptures or the New Testament. I like to see, well, how can this actually be a part of us or within us? Where can we take this and put it into our actual daily lives? And so Rebekah is the wife of Isaac and the mother of Jacob and Esau, and she is going to have twins. And she hears from God that these twins are going to sort of challenge each other, you might say. They're wrestling a lot in her tummy. And God actually says that these will become known as two nations within her. And so Charles Fillmore has this great metaphysical breakdown of this. So maybe I'll get through the story and then we'll start taking it apart. And the older will serve the younger child. And so Esau is born first of the twins. And Esau is metaphysical, means the hairy, shaggy person, so to speak. And so that's what you can think of when you think of Esau, is this very, human, very outdoorsy type of person that is more about the sense consciousness and the actual daily living. And Jacob comes out grasping Esau's heel, and Jacob means heel catcher, supplanted, one who follows after to supplant or deceive, right? So this is what Jacob comes out as. So he's grasping the heel, and you can think of Jacob more as the intellectual type. So you have these two nations, so to speak, one that maybe represents the body, one that maybe represents the mind. Esau being the body, Jacob the mind.
So as the story goes on, we find out that Esau is very much a hunter-gatherer type. So he's out gathering food, hunting. He comes home extremely hungry. Jacob is more the homebody. He likes to hang out in the tents and think about stuff and be that kind of person. He happens to have made some lentil stew, and Esau comes in ravished, just like, I am so hungry, feed me. And Jacob's like, well, hey, I've got some stew here that I could share with you. And Esau's like, yeah, bring me the stew. And he's like, it's going to cost you though. I will trade you this stew for your birthright. And Esau's like, no way, that's ridiculous. And he will not share it. So Esau is so hungry, he gives up his birthright for that single moment of having food right now. Right? There might be something in there for us. What have we given up for that moment as opposed to the long-term planning? Right? So Esau gives away his birthright. Now, the story also tells us that mom, Rebecca, has a favorite being Jacob. She's a little more leaning towards Jacob. And that might be because she had this idea that Jacob was going to be the one that supplants Esau. So she may have already had that shift in her consciousness, but she's always favored Jacob. So we move along in the story. Isaac is losing it. His sight is gone. He doesn't know how much longer he has. So he says to Esau, could you please go out and hunt something and bring it back and make me one of those incredible stews that you make when you do this? And Esau is like, yes, father, of course I will do that. And the expectation is when he gets back, Isaac will give Esau his blessing. So Rebekah gets together with Jacob and says, hey, Esau's out hunting. Why don't we pretend that you're Esau, because Isaac can't see very well, and you can get his blessing. And Jacob's like, no, he'll know for sure. I don't have, if he just touches my hands, there's no hair on my arms. I don't smell like him. Rebecca says, don't worry about it. I got it all solved. So she gets this fur jacket sort of thing and puts it on Jacob. It happens to be Esau's clothing, so it smells like Esau, and brings Jacob in and says, hey, Isaac, it's, Dad, it's me. I've come back, prepared a stew the way he likes it, gives him the stew. And Isaac's like, wow, this is incredible. It's so funny because he says, this is great story writing. He's like, you sound like Jacob, but you feel and smell like Esau. So I guess that's who you are, right? So he gives Jacob the blessing. Right, so here's Jacob, this guy who has now thwarted his brother twice, right? He's a very deceiving kind of character. Esau comes back from hunting and he prepares the stew and brings it into Isaac, and he's like, Dad, I've done this for you, here you go. And he's like, well, who are you? Because I've already done all this blessing stuff with the other guy. Who was the other guy? They find out it was Jacob. But because he's already given the blessing, he can't take it back for some reason. So this is that foretelling where Esau would serve the younger brother. The older brother will serve the younger brother. Anyhow, Esau's ticked off, as you can imagine. Not only did he take his birthright, but now he's taken the blessing. So Rebekah finds out that Esau's probably going to come and hunt down Jacob. So Jacob flees into the desert to get away. Jacob ends up in the desert, has a night where he falls asleep and has the dream of Jacob's ladder, which is this idea that there are angels coming down from heaven onto earth, going back up to heaven, and he hears from God that he is somehow blessed and he will lead nations. And so what I find interesting about this is that even when you deceive others and you're a trickster, you can still get some favoritism somewhere along the way. It's kind of crazy, right? Anyhow, he's in the desert. He sleeps on a rock. He wakes up after this incredible dream that he has, and he decides God must be present here. So he renames the place Bethel, which means God is present, or God's house. And on the rock that he slept on, he makes that the centerpiece, the beginning of something new. He blesses it with oil, and this is now his place. And he actually says, Jacob made a vow saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey, I am taking and will give me, this journey I'm taking will give me food to eat and clothes to wear so that I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God. And this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, and all that you give me, I will give you 1/10. So he actually makes a covenant with God in this moment that if you're going to do all this for me, I'm going to give you something in return. Has anybody ever sort of made a deal like that? Kind of maybe silently to yourself in the plea of please, if you would just help me this one time, I will do XYZ. And there's also the earlier example where Esau, so hungry, is willing to give up the future just for immediate gratification, right? So we can look and see in our lives, like, when have I done that in the past? When has that actually haunted me? And then we can take that and go, well, am I going to do that again? Every moment that we get faced with where we have to make a decision, maybe that's something we can look to and go, wow, is that really something that I want to do right now? What am I sacrificing? Not that there's anything wrong with sacrifice, because if you're like me, you've probably seen in your life that in order to get anything, there are sacrifices to be made. Some of them we do willingly, like, for example, we give up our time for a job so we can have money, so we can eat and all of those other things, right? But we're actually sacrificing probably other things we might want to be doing in that moment in order to have that job and have the income. But it is a sacrifice that we're making. So we move the story along, and Jacob has now decided this place. He gets older, has kids, ends up with 12 children, one of them named Joseph, from the Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? So the story of Joseph stems from Jacob. And Jacob is in a little bit of a lurch or a little bit of trouble along the way. And the story moves us into one particular day when Jacob wrestles with, we're not really sure if it's an angel, if it's a human, or if it's God. It kind of plays more like it's an angel or God or an angel of God that Jacob wrestles with. And Jacob wrestles all night long with God, so to speak. And I mean, it's pretty incredible if you can wrestle all night with God and you don't actually lose, right? So they battle till morning, till the sun is going to come up, and the angel says to Jacob, look, I got to get out of here. Daytime's coming. I got to go. And Jacob's like, yeah, well, I'm not letting you go till you tell me your name and you give me a blessing. And the angel's like, I'm not going to tell you my name, but I will give you a blessing. You will no longer be known as Jacob. You will now be known as Israel going forward. And Israel actually means those who wrestle with God. And so now we have what forms to be Israel. And from that point on, Jacob represents the house of Israel, which, we could look at for all of us, I think, if we're here, we probably wrestle with this idea of God. And what is that exactly? What, at Unity, what do we interpret that as? I like to think we each can make our own story of what God is. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, let me go, for it is daybreak. Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. And that's when the blessing comes. So Jacob called the place, this is interesting, Jacob calls this place where he wrestled God, Peniel. The pineal gland, we are all familiar with. Metaphysically, the meaning of Peniel is turn toward God, face of God, within the presence of God, countenance of God, vision of God, whatever. But that is within the center of our brains. It is, the idea is that that's where we have that infinite divine spirit that comes into us, divine ideas enter through our pineal gland, etc. So, as I read these stories, when I look at them, I'm always blown away at how things that I thought were just common language, so to speak, how far back it actually stems and what we can pull from that. And so What also touched me about this was this idea, if we go back to the Jacob's Ladder portion, where he wakes up and he makes the decision that this is the center. I will build something here. This is the house of God. He names it Bethel. And I think, well, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we have that opportunity when we're faced with something that we get through. Or maybe we make a covenant from that point on, and we have a center point from which to start, from which to move out from. From this point on, I'm no longer going to be that person that I was. I'm actually going to be something brand new. And we make a covenant with ourselves. You know when you've made a deal with yourself, right? When you've made a promise to yourself, and you know when you break it, and you know what that feels like. I know I've certainly done that, and my hope is that, hey, we're all human. We're going to do those things. But my hope is that we can find a way to re-engage that promise, to say, hey, you know what? Didn't work quite the way I wanted it to that time, but here I go again. What do I need to do? What do you think I could do differently? Being very curious about what it is that had me do that, had me go that way, and see what can I put in place now to have a different outcome or a different experience. And for me, when I think of God, that's what I think of. I think of that deep inner knowing where I have made deals with myself that this is, sort of see, this is who I want to be in the world. This is my aim. I've made a covenant to be that. It doesn't always go well. Anybody had that experience? It doesn't quite go, it doesn't always go the way we wanted it to, right? But there's always the opportunity to make a new covenant, to make a new agreement with ourselves, and to push on, to move on to the next stage. And that to me is that constant wrestling that we're doing. That constant wrestling within ourselves of the higher consciousness that I have for myself, that I want to be, and then bringing it within and aligning. This is also interesting to me, is that at some point, Jacob and Esau make up in the story. So you can think of it as body and mind come back together in peace, and both are required. Right? We need both of those things in order to live our lives fully, in order to experience the things that we want to experience. In order to bring our best selves forward, we require both of those things to be in harmony. Love, right? That's the 12 powers of unity, love being really about harmony, creating harmony within our lives. And so the harmony begins within us. If we're in conflict, anybody here been in internal conflict? Right? How does that go for everybody else around you? And how does that go for you? Right? We make choices that maybe we're not proud of in those moments. So anytime that we can bring ourselves back to a place and an understanding and have compassion for ourselves and go, hey, wait a second. What if I just get back to that center? That this is a house of, I'll use the word God, right here within each one of us is that house. And we can call upon that and start brand new. Every moment is an opportunity to begin again and to begin again. As I was preparing for this, I ended up reading some Eric Butterworth, one of those great unity ministers from way back, and I was thinking about this story because what I love about it is, for me, it's just a story. I don't know whether it happened or not. I have no idea whether those people existed, because in some cases, Isaac was like 180 years old or something when that happened. It's like, well, okay, maybe. Thinking back then, they didn't have healthcare quite to the level we have it today. So, I'm not sure how well people could live beyond 100 years of age. But anyhow, that's beside the point. What I see in these stories is great writing and an ability to kind of look at it and go, well, how does this represent us in some capacity? And so it makes me think, I read something from Butterworth where he said the electricity that lights and cooks and heats our homes was here long before we ever learned to accept it. Like back then when this story was written thousands of years ago, the idea of electricity and heat and lights and all that stuff, it was alive. It just hadn't been found yet. But all of those laws and principles were in place already. It's just we didn't find it till we found it, but it didn't mean it was brand new. It was already done. Kind of like our bodies and our way of being. It's thousands of years old. There is an intelligence working within each one of us that goes way beyond our capacity to really think and understand. And I think that's what Myrtle Fillmore discovered when she healed herself, was she called upon that divine intelligence that's already in place. There was nothing that new that needed to be added. It just needed to be brought to her attention through faith and love and understanding and forgiveness. And so whenever we're faced with these crises in our lives, we can go back to that centerpiece, call upon that within ourselves. It starts with us, right? Like it's great to have the support of others. Believe me, I've experienced that the last 6 years in ways I can't even explain in terms of my being here today. But it does have to come from within first. And it needs to be nurtured and loved and appreciated. And we might need to make a deal. We might need to have a covenant. We might need to stand on something and say, hey, it stops here or it starts here. I went to the hockey game the other night with my family, and there's this guy named Crazy P. Does anybody remember Crazy George from like the early BC Lions at BC Place days, right? Crazy George with his drum, da 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 da. Well, this is Crazy P. I'm thinking he stole it from Crazy George, but so he's at Canuck games and he's, banging his drum, and he ended up in our section and he wanted to get the wave going, right? And so he's standing there screaming at the top of his lungs, but I love what he said. It's all going to start right here. That's what I believe is called for each one of us. Anytime we want change in our lives, it starts right here, not somewhere else. It's always within us. So with that, I invite you to join me for a few moments of meditation and contemplation. Whatever that means for you. And as you're sitting here, or if you're at home and you can find a place to sit and relax. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, maybe just find a place on the ground in front of you where you can soften your gaze. And with this idea of starting right here, I invite you to allow these words from a great leader from way back. It's this great idea that the kingdom of heaven is an opulent kingdom of substance and of creative ideas, and that the supply to meet our demands is right where we are. And it's everything that we need. And with an idea that big, I invite you to bring conscious breath to this work. Again, I invite you to take a nice deep breath in. Let that go. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I invite you for the rest of the week to think about the fact that I believe this to be fact, that everything you want for yourself and for your life is within you. You know the answers. Might just require a little bit of faith, a little bit of love, a little bit of forgiveness. Have an amazing week, everyone. Can I do a shameless plug before we move on? I'm going to do a shameless plug.
Look.
This Friday, I will be performing with Mood Swings at the Maple Sugar Festival. My first time ever drumming in a swing band live. It'll be a train wreck, I'm sure, but it'll be awesome.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's at Bevan Park, I believe, on Friday. Yeah. Anyhow,
What time?
I think we're on at 6:30.
All right. Be there or be square.
Yeah.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find love, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments, and I hear all that could never be said, and right here In this holy silence, I find love. Yes, I find God. I find love. I find myself.
All right. Crack the knuckles. Your little moment there about the guy with the wave reminds me of this blues artist that Rick played with in South Carolina. It was this big black guy, and his rider was he needed a cigar and a bucket of fried chicken. I kid you not, that was his show rider. I forget his name, Robert something, but he was talking to Rick one time, and he goes, "There's so much music per square inch. You just gotta reach up and scoop it up out of the river." So it's like, yeah, it starts right here. Okay, cool. And on that note, I have no idea what I'm playing today, so this will be extra fun. Usually I have some kind of idea. It's exciting.
Starts right here.
Yeah, I know. It starts here with the wave. Oh, the wave. Okay, sure. That was fun. It's like a little prelude style, you know, just yeah. So.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
And
pleasure.
thank you for Brian for your playing. It was awesome. Yeah.
Almost.
Thank everyone for coming and those online. Thank you. Thank you. Thomas, thank you for connecting biblical stories to metaphysical understandings. I think this is maybe why unity is coined as practical Christianity, because it really hits home. I was reflecting myself with the importance of going inside yourself in times of duress, or doesn't have to be crisis. Recently, I have been dog sitting. So my own dog plus 2 others. And I've quickly learned that I'm the alpha dog. And everywhere I go, they are there. I'm in the kitchen, they're there. I'm in the bathroom, they're there. Everywhere, I am the alpha dog. After 8 hours of that, I'm kind of done. I'm just like, my role is complete here. I found myself, my husband, he has this habit of leaving his shoes right in the middle of the floor. He comes in, leaves them there. I've asked repetitively if he could just put them maybe in a less trippy zone. But this particular day, now my fur friends are being picked up, but I'm just kind of feeling done. And there's the shoes. I was almost going to snap. I wanted to kick those shoes under the table or just get them out of here. But
Throw 'em.
then just with the teachings of what Unity has provided myself, I recognized that. And it's like, okay, now it's my time to take some time for myself. Just like on an airplane flight, when they tell you if the air oxygen tube comes down, don't put it on your child, put it on yourself first. Take care of yourself first, because if you're not complete, nobody else will be. So I took that time. I was just like checked out. I was like, I'm going upstairs, just going to lay down for 15 minutes, listen to some chill music. And it's amazing. Amazing. Just came back and I'm like, okay, now I'm back to the Brenda that I usually am and carry on. So yeah, let's share some community happenings. I'll just, I don't know if there's going to be a slide for this, but just thanking everybody that was at the retro dance last night at the Yacht Club. It was well attended and it was tons of fun. Yeah, so thank you for all those that participated. So let's speak about Unity Vancouver Island and Comox area. There's a prayer circle, 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. It's in the Spiritual Center. It's at 11:30. Next one will be February 27th. And next in-person service is March 10th by our Reverend Thomas, Rev T. Please take note of quantum healing meditation. This is going to be our Dear L. It's going to be the fourth Wednesday of each month. That's at 6 p.m. here. It's by donation. Everybody welcome. You may want to bring a something to lay on. It might be more comfortable than seated. So I welcome you to bring that. And please pay attention, episode number 19. I can't believe we're at 19 already. Is this an identity crisis? This is with Rev P and Rev T. Hey. Yeah, check it out. This is funded for the Project Phoenix Rising. Yeah. And Saturday, February 24th, that's coming up, the coldest night of the year. So the Unitix and Friends team are joining Iris. Thank you, Iris, for stepping up to lead us. Okay, yeah, please, donations accepted today. Information and sign up is in the link in your newsletter. Quote of the week. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That is by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl. Thank you. Ongoing in Nanaimo, seated Tai Chi in Nanaimo is Tuesdays at 10, standard Tai Chi Wednesdays at 10, A Course in Miracle ongoing Thursdays at 10:30 here. Moon Circle Women's Group in Nanaimo is, next one is the February 25th at 7 p.m. That is Sunday. Bring on the children. Awesome. And please share with me the children's blessing. We see you, divine light, shining as you. We love and exactly the way you are. And our vision of Unity Vancouver Island is a growing, unfolding, expanding center of light and love, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others.
Terrifies the children.
And vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, a world powerfully transformed by the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Thank you for your abundance and your tithe, talent, and time. Donations gratefully, graciously accepted at unityvancouverisland.com, or there's a Dropbox here at Nanaimo. And thank you.
Oh. One more song.
One more song.
That was not on our. Oh.
Well, it's fun.
We had Get Out of the Way on our list.
Well, let's do it. Let's get that song out of the way and do Get Out of the Way.
Do you want the lyrics? I got them right here. You got them right there? Okay.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Just get out of the way. Said get out of the way. Said get out the way and let God do his thing. Well, you look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a breath and get yourself some slack. All that dreaming ain't good for you. You couldn't change it if you wanted to. So get out of the way. Said get out of the way. Said get out the way and let God do its thing. Let's let Nico do his thing. Well, the sun gonna shine and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say so. The universe is working, the good flowing. You don't plant a seed if you don't think it's gonna be growing. So get out of the way. Said get out of the way. Said get out the way and let God do its thing. Said get out of the way. Get out of the way. Said get out the way and let God do its thing.
That wasn't so bad as a different song. What about our? Don't we have to do the light of God? We're done. Prayer of protection. Oh, we can't go back. You can never go.
Yeah, that's. Oh.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody.
We're back.
Yeah, let's close with the prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. Wherever we are,
God
which is over us, we are one with the presence. Oops. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is.
Amen. Start up the song.
Bye, everyone.
Let's sing it again.
Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with love as our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
I like how everybody stayed looking at the thing.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, but you know, your technique is
It's amazing to sit here and watch it go from the thought kind of through your